What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His name is ChronoJJ. I think ChronoJJ was I don't think he saw which god he picked. He's picked Set. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Kronos. His name is OdinKing. This must be an incredibly strange feeling here from ChronoJJ. He's got to be thinking, hang on, I thought I was going to be playing against Odin here. But he's playing against Kronos. And OdinKing must be going, hang on, I thought I was playing against Ra here, but I'm playing against Set. Now, Ra and Set, while they are very different, they're not as different as Odin is compared to Kronos. But we'll see if ChronoJJ's got some idea of how to play this matchup. I do think that this matchup here, and in general, Set has got the advantage against the Atlanteans. Set can do things like Anubis pressure into like into some sort of a priest siege idea with crocodiles and things like that. You could also go for Tar with the shifting sands, timing attack, and all those juicy things. There's a million different strategies you can try here with Set, and the hardest part about it is how does Kronos deal with it? As we are seeing the villagers coming over here to eat all of this hunt. There's really not that much hunt here at this moment. And where is ChronoJJ gone? He's getting himself the polar bear in the middle of the map. Now, the thing is, with Atlantean, most players are like, man, it's so unfair. Priest can just like Greek has got the Katoskopos to harass the priest. Norse has got the Ulsark to harass the priest. Atlantean, we just can't deal with the priest. The set priest can just move over and convert all my hunt. How is that fair? Guys, you can convert an oracle as Atlantean in the classical age and still hit a 430 advance time. And not only that, now your animals of Set can't defend you because they get killed off really fast by the Oracle hero. So, in all honesty, it turns out that Set stealing animals away from the Atlantean player is actually a terrible idea against an Atlantean player who's got prep. Who's prepped for this matchup, who understands what they can do. So I would say that you're much better off here converting your own hunt, trying to stay safe away from where those oracles are, trying not to get spotted, and being completely fine here. So we'll see how things are going to go. We do have a comment here from Chemo saying, stronger slinger help a lot to classical fight against Atlantean. While I agree, I think that if you go slingers against Atlantean, you are opening yourself up to a very, very strong Contarius semi-fast heroic or fast heroic that it's going to be very tough to deal with. So you have to be super scouting and super aware of what your opponent's doing so that you don't overcommit on those slingers, because otherwise they would be absolutely useless. As we see Tar coming through for ChronoJJ, it is pretty fast here, in all honesty, from Chrono. It looks like he went for a 430, but he's kind of missed it by a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why he missed it. He's getting his houses down, missing his monument to the villages. As you all know, I am not a fan of advancing anywhere slower than 402 and having 0 monuments. If you go 402, I'm okay with you not having monuments. If you go 4 minutes and 30 and you don't have monuments, then there better be good reason for that. And I don't feel like when you play Set and you have converted animals that there is ever a good reason for you to advance that late. As we see the vision in the main base of OdinKing, is he going for like a shifting sands on something here? It looks like he is not. Just holding back his stuff. He's not sure exactly what he's doing. OdinKing is very, very defensive. He's got everything he needs to play around this. So town center in the center of the map going to be coming up here is the priest, the pharaoh. Where's the pharaoh? The pharaoh moving forward to start empowering the town center here as well. And we'll see how it all ends up shaping up as Counter barracks, military barracks coming down for OdinKing. Personally, I don't think Kronos should be throwing a counter barracks down here in this matchup. Until you see what your opponent's doing. I'd much rather see one military barracks making some Murmillo, trying to get a second town center here, than going for the classic Atlantean opener. Why? Because you can always build more military buildings later and spam those units out, but you can't get that fast second town center up quicker than not building the counter barracks. So if you want to be going for it, it's important to make that happen, as we are seeing ChronoJJ drops himself the barracks over here. Going to be empowering that one up and starting somewhat of a classical fight. He does have a handful of villagers on the wood right now, so he might be going for those slingers that Kimo was suggesting here. Against the Terma Murmillo composition, the slingers are very, very strong. So we'll see how that's going to go, as the Walrus here are indeed getting stolen away from OdinKing, as he's kind of let that happen as the hero Terma pushing through. The Walrus needs to get pulled back, otherwise he will be losing that one. So he does decide to retreat here, and we'll see. I mean, maybe OdinKing could snipe the Walrus before it gets onto this position, as another barracks coming up here for ChronoJJ. The hard part here for Chrono is that it's a 1 gold mine frozen wastes, which means that he is going to need to get this gold mine here. So potentially some sort of fast third town center behind all of this might be a good way to play. And OdinKing is playing into it. It's just that ChronoJJ needs to read this. Let's see if he's seen it. He doesn't know that it's happening. So he's not 100%, he shouldn't be 100% sure of what to do because he hasn't scattered it out. But definitely the right answer here for ChronoJJ would be grabbing this town center to secure this gold mine, wall here, and he would be in a really, really good position after all is said and done. But scouting is a little bit challenging here. You have to make sure you're on top of those hyenas to be in the positions where they could potentially see the town centers that your opponent is wanting to make. As OdinKing at this moment just searching around, he has stopped production completely, which I think, has he started again? I think stopping production completely and going heroic age here is the Kronos is the right option here against you see the double barracks up, you know your opponent is building military units. You just say, no worries, those military units are not going to be that strong here. Let's go heroic age. Let's go into destroyers. Let's go into Contarius, one of those two, as well as Arcus, and you're going to be in a really good position to put a timing attack in there as well. And we'll see how it's all going to shape up, as another counter barracks is actually coming down for OdinKing. So it seems like he wants mass Terma. The other option here, which might sound crazy, but you could potentially go Cairo Ballista here and make this work. And alternatively, there's also the option of starting to time shift military buildings onto these gold mines. Just keep on building those military buildings, not necessarily for production, but for surrounding gold mines and making sure your opponent has got a tough time here as well. As generally speaking, the Atlantean players like to float wood. So you can kind of afford to make that happen in a way. We'll see how it shapes up with the Gazelle of Set coming through, and Chrono, man after my own heart. He's making those Gazelle of Set, and this is really what makes the classical second the two town center play of Set possible here against Atlantean, is the fact that you can just make Gazelle here. You got to be careful not to use them as a fighting weapon here, because they need to be deleted, as otherwise they get sniped and you lose them. But Chrono, he's still pumping those out. At this point, it looks like he's only got the one monument, though, which is going to be hurting him quite a bit here, as the villagers on this position trying to build some ghost buildings to keep himself alive on this position. But the Terma coming through, going to be sniping some slingers here as he pulls that one back nicely. The villagers are going to be under a target fairly soon as well, as OdinKing is doing the shoot and scoot micro here quite nicely. Just to almost snipe a spearman there, but it does stay alive for the time being here. There is still a shifting sands, so if ChronoJJ wants, he can shifting sands those Terma into his base, and he should be fine. As a monument to the soldiers now coming up, as he's realizing he needs that extra favor income to afford those Gazelle of Set here. And we'll see how things are going to go. Alluvial Clay coming through. for OdinKing, as he wants to make those Prometheans. You don't often see the alluvial clay getting researched here super early, but one of the big bonuses of Kronos is the myth units, so this makes some sense here, and we'll see how it goes. But generally speaking, you almost want to make priests in the army of Set against Atlantean to deal with those Terma, as we do see the Terma coming through, going to be sniping some slingers out as well. As they're pulling back, nice micro here from OdinKing to push forward, and ChronoJJ will have to retreat away. As a villager here, he can snipe down if he so chooses, as the army coming back in onto this position. ChronoJJ will be getting caught out of position here quite badly, as he needs to retreat back again, as the villagers pulling back into the main base. Villagers finishing up with the Walrus on that position, finishing up with the Gazelle of Set over here as well. Plenty of food in the bank. Chrono can start thinking about going in to the Heroic Age units here, by just jumping everyone onto wood. There is a couple of different ideas here with Set. Given that Set is not Ra, does not have the 5.0 speed, it makes the Set chariots quite a bit weaker against Atlantean, especially those Terma. But against Kronos and Gaia, at least 5.0 speed Terma versus 5.0 speed chariot archers, you can stay out of range of the Terma quite easily. And play around that, so it's not like a bad thing there to make that happen, as we are seeing ChronoJJ here going through SEHKMET. SEHKMET! He doesn't like the Nephthys. Well, we'll see how it's going to go. There is a Shifting Sands available for ChronoJJ to utilize his Scarabs to take out town centers very, very simply here. And Chrono's almost finished up on those herdables that are spread very bizarrely around his main base. He's having a bit of a tough game here, as OdinKing is sniping villagers nicely throughout this one. As a villager coming over here to start shanking on this position to stop the citizen from getting that town center up, as the Terma coming over here to deal with this one. As medium slingers does end up coming through there as well. The alluvial clay Prometheans here, 227 HP. So that's all it gives, right? Yeah, 227 HP. Still a decent upgrade nonetheless. It's relatively cheap, and it's going to give a lot more survivability for those Prometheans. As another slinger coming over here to try and take out the villager on this position. If Chrono wanted, he could make a whole bunch of spearmen here and completely stop that, as we are seeing a barracks getting deconstructed there, as OdinKing notices that ChronoJJ needs more production facilities here, but in using that deconstruction, now he can't use it on a Migdol stronghold, which might be a problem, as ChronoJJ now over on this gold mine, he will have to put that Migdol stronghold down there to secure that one, as the villagers still getting taken out. It's 59 villages to 23, pretty close to equal, but the third town center just about up here for OdinKing, as he has to retreat back. He's losing a lot of units in this game all over the place. And as we do see, the Migdol stronghold is up. More barracks coming up, as a Scarab is going to be coming through here as well. There is an idea with Set, with the idea is, instead of going for siege towers, which obviously cost some resources, you can actually go for Scarabs, and having only costing 18 favor, you could potentially argue that 2 Scarabs is worth more than 3 siege towers, which is generally where you basically need that many siege towers to take down a town center generally. Otherwise, the villagers can kill them fairly easily. There is an argument that 2 Scarabs is better than the siege towers. So, but you don't have Nephthys, you don't get that ancestor, you don't get that big boost. So while you get more resources to build other units out, you do struggle a little bit with the stuff. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You get more units out, but you get less ancestors. That's what I was trying to say. Anyways, you get 0 ancestors, in fact. So OdinKing with the building placement. Oh! Now that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Kronos using his special ability there to block that Scarab, getting a little bit more damage done. Chrono has to retreat back, and he really wants that Scarab to be kept alive here, managing to hold on this position as the elephant is out over on this position here. ChronoJJ retreating back here. He's got 1 Scarab, 1 elephant, could potentially take down this town center over here if he so chooses, as the village is getting pushed off here back into the main base here as well. Do we see any Chariot Archers? Yes, they are. Chariot Archers coming out for the time being. The Slinger's going to be more than enough to deal with the Terma here, as OdinKing still pushing in. He's at 145 of 145 population, still in that second age. Farms coming down all over the place here. More military buildings coming down as well for OdinKing, as the Scarab now starting to take out the town center on this position. The hero citizen comes through here to start shanking that Scarab down, doing tons of damage, but it looks like the town center will be falling there nonetheless, as so strong that citizen does not kill off the Scarab fast at all here, ladies and gentlemen, as the unit's retreating back for the time being here. And we'll see how it all shapes up with the town center going down. ChronoJJ stabilizing something fierce here, as he now start thinking about getting this town center for himself. Random cavalry over here should definitely be attacking that Oracle. I'm not sure why it hasn't automatically done that. It doesn't see it. It's just out of line of sight. Didn't realize the ChronoJJ cavalry or the set cavalry don't have that much range, a line of sight, as the villagers are coming over to drop the town center. The priest's going to be taking out those Prometheans, but with Rhea coming through for OdinKing, he's going to be able to start stealing those very strong myth units away from ChronoJJ. Specifically the Scarabs here. He can trade her a Scarab, and he can push in and with his Behemoth, so he has double the siege power. So now ChronoJJ 130 population, getting himself the third town center over here. Migdol Stronghold coming up over there as well. No effort from OdinKing to time shift in onto this position to try and deny that town center here. As Kronos seeing the temple in that position, maybe realizing what's coming, maybe not. And the other thing here that ChronoJJ can do, which he hasn't started, I don't know where the Pharaoh is, but he can start building Giraffe and eating those in his main base to push himself to the Mythic Age as well if he so chooses. That's where the Pharaoh is, so he can build his Migdol up on this position and then deal with that, as we are seeing raids coming through onto this position while the Behemoth pushes through. There are a handful of priests here already, and the thing about the Behemoth and the Scarab as well is that villagers, if you get enough of them out, they actually do kill off the Behemoth relatively fast. It's only got 30% hack armor, as OdinKing clicks up through Helios. He is on the warpath. He is getting that tech through very, very quickly here. Migdol Stronghold almost up on this position to get himself that gold mine over here. Meanwhile, this gold mine almost expired, and Chrono probably needs to move forward and drop a Migdol over here. Meanwhile, the Slinger raids with the Axemen going to be looking to hit the gold villages on this position, as that Migdol does end up getting sniped down there by the deconstruction immediately. We'll see if Chrono decides to put it back up straight away or not, and he is deciding to do so, pulling back there. Fortified Town Centers comes through, as the Town Center getting denied on this position. Temple gets pulled back over here for the Hecagigantes to start coming through. Chariot Archers coming in to start trying to take out those Citizen over here. There's one very low HP hero Citizen. He's going to be able to snipe that down very, very quickly there. The Terma, however, will be able to take out the Chariot Archers, though, nicely. Good micro from OdinKing, as we do see a Shifting Sands coming through here to deny the town center, as the units here retreating into the manor, and the town center getting closer and closer to finishing here, as Chrono, he needs to micro onto those citizens perfectly to win this fight. He's got himself 154 of 170 population here compared to the 130 population of OdinKing. As the citizen here still doing some nice dancing. Town Center getting closer and closer to going up here, as the Slinger Chariot Archer targeting down that Town Center over here. Meanwhile, raids onto this position trying to take this one out. Chrono does not have the stuff here to stop this Town Center from going up, as OdinKing gets his Fortified Town Center up and his third town center there roughly at the same time, has his Mythic Age. Now he's going to start pumping those Hecagigantes, and the weakness here for ChronoJJ, we haven't talked about because he didn't go through Nephthys, is he doesn't have funeral rites. So that Hecagigantes becomes even stronger, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll see what the plan of attack is here for OdinKing. Now, when you're playing against Helios, kind of the best way to play against it is just put yourself Migdol strongholds on every single one of your town centers. Put temples around to get yourself the priests out nice and fast, and put towers up everywhere, and basically play like you're playing against like a Ragnarok of some sort, because these units are just going to be everywhere. And then you can also just go for the raids all over the place, as this gold mine getting denied by an elephant, as the gold mine over here has finished up. ChronoJJ looks like he's kind of got himself a gold staff at this position, as the villagers coming through here to start repairing the town center back up here. Priest getting popped out of the town center. ChronoJJ with very, very little population here. He's not producing all too well, as the priest does pop out. Will start targeting, or should start targeting down the Hecagigantes, but he's not paying attention on that one. Too focused on the gold at this point, as the Chariot Archer is looking for some more citizen kills on the location over there. As the Hecagigantes almost taken out, we do see the Pharaoh coming through here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to spam crocodiles here at this point for ChronoJJ, given he's got 50 favor here. That would be a huge help to defending this position. But the town center of ChronoJJ is going down, as another citizen falling here. OdinKing, however, he's still on 24 citizen at this point. Though he doesn't have any gold, it's still 24 citizens. So he's got plenty of income, and he can trade for quite some time here in this game, as the barracks getting targeted down over here. Villagers shanking away as best as they can here to stay alive. Meanwhile, villagers over on this gold mine, and happily mining on this gold mine, very naked here. There's still the vortex that's available here for OdinKing, but he doesn't even want to use it, as heavy chariots coming through. Chrono needs to get himself out some units here, as the Chariot Archer is searching around. We see a palace coming up, and that's going to put a stop to ChronoJJ's Chariot Archer raiding ways here, as the villagers, what are they doing? A little bit of a strange movement here, as the palace not quite up just yet. But I guess you can sit the Chariot Archers out of range of the palace and prevent this gold mine from getting grabbed with the palace on this position. But Chrono does need to position his Chariot Archers nicely, as the Hecagigantes here getting sniped down. An attempt at a ghost building here is going well, but OdinKing not paying attention. He will be losing both of his Hecagigantes here pretty much, with 157 HP remaining on that last one. Though he's got another one here that he can start putting pressure on as well. Meanwhile, over here we do see the elephant getting traded. I think is that the last trader? No, there's still one more trader remaining. Or two more traders remaining. As the Migdol stronghold over here is getting cleaned up. OdinKing will be spotting this, seeing that the villagers aren't here. What's going to happen? As the Chariot Archers sitting on this position. Medium Fanatic going to be coming through here to try and clean this up. Not paying attention there. Gets a free kill, basically. As well as the Arcus on this position, getting some good damage done from afar. More Fanatics going to be coming through, and Chrono does pay attention. Going to be retreating back for the time being here, as he needs to somehow resecure this town center. One of the big things that we didn't talk about here is how strong having this middle town center is for the set player. If he can get a significant amount of gold income, he can start abusing the mercenary to siege down this town center over here. But OdinKing is just going to continue making those Hecagigantes, and he can start thinking, now he's cleared out all of the gold over here, he can start thinking about vortexing onto this town center here, and that's exactly what he's going to be going for. He's got one Hecagigantes. He's got two, well, he's got an elephant. He's got two Hecagigantes. 3 Hecagigantes and a destroyer here to help take out this position, as the village is going to be retreating away immediately here. As the town center comes back up in the middle of the map, ChronoJJ can move back over to the top gold mine here as well, as the Chariot Archers are searching around for villagers to kill. A destroyer going to come through and try and deal with this as well, as both the Migdol stronghold and the fortified town center will be falling here for ChronoJJ, as the units chasing the villagers away here as well. Chrono moves up onto this position to grab the gold mine back again to keep himself alive here, as the priest coming through to try and snipe down the Hecagigante. You do want to be focus firing that myth unit, generally speaking here. It's normally not the case that you want to be targeting a town center onto a myth unit, but it's very, very useful against the Hecagigantes, as the priest getting targeted down. Villagers retreating back here as well, as that town center is not long for this world. Chrono could make himself out some mercenary to build this, but he's saving that gold for something else at this moment. As the medium Merlo coming up to the top position over here. ChronoJJ with a lot of resources in the bank. He can sell resources, especially wood, at this point to build himself some stuff here. He's also got 88 favor, and he's not utilizing those animals of set to help him out, as the villagers coming back into this position to repair this one back up. The Hecagigante is going to come through as well, as Chrono desperately trying to hold on to this town center. The town center, 100 HP remaining, and it does go down as the Hecagigantes also goes down as well. Villagers going to be able to shank down these these Arcus over here as the villagers retreating back on from this position, as Chrono can keep building his villagers out. He's got lots of idle villagers to move back onto this position over here. Chariot Archers searching for more villagers to take out as OdinKing has put the palace up. He's got the market on this position. He's got the villagers over here as well, grabbing this position, pushing off of this gold mine as well. He can start thinking about time-shifting buildings all around the map to control all of the town centers. Chrono's back onto his gold mine. He's got that 150 population from SEHKMET. So we'll have to see how that's going to go, as the Chariot Arch is sitting underneath the palace. You have to be right underneath it to dodge the special, well, not the special, the attack. As we do see the Fire Siphon going to start getting some damage done. Unfortunately, the Fire Siphon does 55 crush damage with no pierce damage or hack damage. So the Chariot Archers don't take any damage basically from a Fire Siphon, as Chrono almost has the resources. Well, he does actually have the resources to drop a Migdol Stronghold on here yet again, but the home, the third town center here now getting targeted down, as the Heka Gigantes is going to be able to finish that one off fairly simply here with the help of those Murmillos, as OdinKing is running rings around ChronoJJ. And you also have to remember, I think there's still vortexes remaining, right? There's still 2 more vortexes and a trader here, which is really, really hurting ChronoJJ's ability to kind of make anything at this point. Now, Chrono could go for like a temple and make some not behemoths, but scarabs to take out a town center or 2 as an idea. He's got a lot of resources to make that happen. He just doesn't have the population at this point, sitting at 130 population, which is huge considering he's got that fortified town center, and he's getting himself his second town center back up over on this position, as well as a market and some more stuff over here as well. Managing to deal with these units as best as he possibly can, as the Chariot Archers have to retreat away with the Watchtower coming up to defend the palace, and the palace defending the villagers. He's going to be in a completely fine position over there as well, as a siege works coming down for ChronoJJ to start building some siege towers and things like that. Champion Archers coming through. The other thing here is for ChronoJJ, he still hasn't hit the Mythic Age. If he gets Mythic Age here, obviously a tornado onto one of these buildings wouldn't go astray to take out a town center, or even a meteor to take out a whole bunch of farms over here, as well as some buildings. But more importantly, getting access to those rhinos of Set can be absolutely gigantic here. So we'll see if that's what he's going to try and do. He could sell some wood here and go Mythic Age. It would be a really, really strong way to continue in this game. As the temple going to be getting targeted down here. Medium Spearman coming through for Chrono. He's not quite able to work this one out. OdinKing here still in a commanding position. He can start grabbing this town center, or at the very least put a palace down here as well with that citizen that's on this position. Alternatively, just time shift a palace down and grab the town center at the same time wouldn't go astray either. Especially like you could time shift this palace, put a palace down here again to defend yourself and be in a good position, or time shift the towers is completely fine, as well as the siege towers now starting to move through onto this position. More military buildings coming down as a siege tower coming out for ChronoJJ to try and deal with the fire siphons and everything else here. More slingers are out by Chrono to try and deal with those heavy archers here. We'll see if he's going to be able to make that happen, as he have his upgrade for the slingers from SEHKMET, which is Slings of the Sun, to help him deal a little bit of extra damage to those Murmillo. He doesn't have it. It basically gives him an extra 30% damage against the infantry units, which is really not that much. It's like an extra 1 DPS, but still every little bit helps, as the town center getting repaired back up. Chrono still not going to that Mythic Age here. He's managing to get himself some population through. Town center on the way now for OdinKing in the center of the map. OdinKing at 135 of 160 population at this moment, as well as the siege towers that are moving through onto this position going to be getting targeted down by those villagers. I think the better idea would be a temple and making scarabs here rather than siege towers. Obviously, one could get traded, but that's kind of better than you getting your Avenger or Phoenix traded a little bit later in the game. But he's still opting in for those siege weapons, and this is obviously, if Chrono can survive, he is really, really good at just targeting weak points in his opponent's position. He's always thinking about where on the map he can attack. As the villagers moving forward here, maybe a Migdol Stronghold, or even Mythic Age here and tornadoing this palace and taking out this top position in the map wouldn't go astray here. as Kronos' military buildings getting taken down. How much gold does he have left in this gold mine? Only 1,000 gold left there as the barracks coming up over here. Villagers have been blocked. They can't get back into... Oh, I told a lie. Apparently, the villager has managed to slink itself down into a tiny bit of stuff there, as Chrono now can advance to the Mythic Age, and he does indeed decide to. Going through Horus here, we'll see if that's going to be enough for him. I don't know if he's going to do this. You have to basically be a set main to understand how good Rhinos are set up, but he needs to get himself feral, and he needs to spam animals at this point to help his economy keep himself alive in this game, as the chariot archers do manage to snipe those citizens underneath the palace. More siege towers are coming through here as well for ChronoJJ. As we see the slingers retreating back, Arcus getting taken out on this position as well, as the chariot archers and the slingers able to deal with those Arcus. There's a big misclick there from OdinKing, moving straight next to the slingers, as they're going to be able to do by themselves take out the Arcus, which you very rarely see slingers getting that much value. As Halo of the Sun coming through here for OdinKing is about to get some incredibly strong Fire Siphon. Once that comes through, we'll show exactly how big of an increase that that technology is. It's an increase for the Fire Siphon, obviously. As we do see some buildings down on this top side of the map as well. And the villagers do finish up on this gold mine. Kronos got himself 1,000 gold in the bank. We'll see how he's going to manage to break out of his base here. As the villagers going to be jumping into their town center for the time being. Going to have to somehow deal with those destroyers as well, as OdinKing is now 4 town centers to 2 town centers, but he's only 30 population in front, as opposed to normally being 40 population in front. So while that's not obviously a good thing for ChronoJJ, at least there's a little bit of a saving grace for him. As Horus does come through, he will be able to tornado this town center as well to give himself a chance here. As the animals of Set pop out of the temple. Yes, they do. Going to come over and help him out as the villagers coming through here to try and repair this one back up. Halo of the Sun is in. 13.8 crush damage is the increase. 13.8. A second. A second. That's huge for one upgrade. As opposed to engineers, which is also 13.8 crush damage a second. But you get 2 of those. 2 engineers. If he didn't have Halo of the Sun, that town center probably would have lived. Trader onto the Avenger here, as now ChronoJJ down to 1 town center. As he has to take out that Avenger, he will be able to deal with it fairly fast with the Pharaoh there as well. There's more Fire Siphon coming through onto this position. The Rhinos are Set pushing through here to try and defend this as best as they possibly can. ChronoJJ with very little resources in the bank. He's snuck through onto this gold mine for the time being, but OdinKing is playing it quick. He's getting himself some Murmillo out of this position to try and defend that one, as the town center are attempting to come back up. The animals of Set pushing forward to prevent the Fire Siphon from getting into range on the town center, as we see a guard tower time shifting in. Vortex coming through here. OdinKing doesn't want to continue in this game, as he does start targeting the town center down. The Fire Siphon dropping. Will they get that attack off in time? Answer is yes, they will, as the Pharaoh getting targeted down as well ends up getting taken down. The units falling here for ChronoJJ, not able to stay alive in this game any longer, and does decide to tap out in the 29th minute of this game. A valiant effort here from ChronoJJ, but OdinKing played it too well, managing to stay alive here, keep his cool, be composed, levels the series 1-1. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.